Hey, we're on the train. We are today going to Hampton Court Palace, which involves a tube. We've just done that, an overland train. We're on it now. And then possibly another mode of transport and a bus, and then eventually we'll get there. We should be at Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court Palace started life as an ordinary country house outside of London. Cardinal Wolsey, Henry VIII's Lord Chancellor, he leased the property and invested huge sums of money to create a grand building where he could host the king, the royal court, and even monarchs from across Europe. He was successful and he created a palace fit for the king. In fact, Henry eventually took Hampton Court for himself. From there we ended up at Hampton Court, and this was an extension to Henry's Tudor Palace, which took place after 1689 when William III and Mary II took the throne, and they asked Sir Christopher Wren to design a new Baroque palace for them. And this ended up, you'll see later on in the video, the beautiful facade that goes down to the canal at the back was all part of that Baroque palace. And from here we did a tour of the royal apartments of William and Mary. So we've just been walking through William III's state apartments, then we came down a walk through, I think, some of his private rooms, and now we're in this room, and I don't even know what it is, but it's really beautiful. I think this palace seems to be like a bit of a rabbit warren and different castle palaces kind of all put together. I'll show you some more. We then found ourselves in the clock court, and when we turned around and went through the colonnade, there was a sign to the Tudor world, which is the oldest part of the palace and the section that Cardinal Wolsey himself had his apartments in. And you can see the beautiful decorations and the very rich wood panelling that adorned the walls of this part of the palace. We finished going through what they call the Tudor world, and it was mostly the apartments for Cardinal Wolsey, who was King Henry VIII's private and trusted advisor, right up until the time that he failed to negotiate the divorce that King Henry VIII wanted, and then he was chucked out of the palace. I think he and the apartments stayed here belonging to King Henry VIII. So we've done that, and now we're on the look for King Henry VIII's apartments, which we've missed completely so far, but we're hoping we'll find them soon. This is Hampton Court's Great Hall and has seen many dramatic events take place, including King James I, who was responsible for organising the 1604 Hampton Court Conference, that resulted in the publication of the King James Bible in 1611. Well, we're in King Henry VIII's apartments, and as you can see, we are very ready for lunch. So bring the lunch on, I say. King Henry VIII is indelibly associated with Hampton Court Palace, and in his reign it was a palace, it was a hotel, a theatre and a vast leisure complex. And he used this to demonstrate his power and his magnificence. It contained his state and his private apartments, and all of his wives spent time here at Hampton Court Palace. However, it is also the place where the King's beloved wife Jane Seymour died, giving birth to their son Edward VI. And it is said that her ghost appears on the anniversary of her death. The final set of apartments that we visited was the Georgian Palace, which is a suite of rooms that were commissioned by King George I, and then further work on the apartments was completed by his son George II in 1727. Okay, so we've finished, we think, all the main palace apartments. Yes, this is how and we're trying to find the way out, but they're like randomly marked some ways, and then there'll be passageways and corridors that are completely unmarked and you have no idea where you're going. So this is, we're going past the Royal Chapel, which isn't open today, and we think we're heading out the exit because now we're starving, and hopefully we'll hit some gardens and can have some food. So that is the goal. We're walking through the maze, and now I'm trying to beat my friend to the centre. Let's see if I can do it, or if she beats me. Oh, we're doing a U-turn here. Maybe. Made it! We made it to the middle. Ta-da! And for the perfect ending to a wonderful day, I was able to take the horse-drawn cart around the beautiful gardens of Hampton Court Palace to admire them one last time before we headed back to London.